Hey guys, welcome to Hot Pocket Topics, where our topics come from you guys, the Pockets. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Adrian. And today we are talking about,
Common Core.
yes, the thing we hate most. It says it on the whiteboard, but it's
No, it
horrible.
doesn't. Whiteboard's gone.
Yes, it's gone. She took it down. Because she's abusive to whiteboards.
White things. Yes. I'm very abusive to white things. I'm sorry, Eli. You know this. You already know this.
Well, aren't you nice?
We all know that's not true. So, for those of you who know what Common Core, well, there's 46 states in the U.S. who have Common Core as of this year. For of you who don't, listen very closely and try to avoid getting Common Core in your state.
Because it freaking sucks. It's a big waste of time.
Time, energy, money, resources, anything.
Education.
Basically, for our school, we have park testing. And I'm not going to go into the acronym for park because I don't give a shit about park. Park takes up about a month and a half of educational time to take tests.
And plus stuff you learn, plus some stuff on park, especially the math portion, you don't even learn.
You won't even learn it.
Like with our math, we had to do sine and cos, which is like some math formula for trigonometry or some so and so.
Sine, cosine.
And that stuff was on the park test, and we learned that at the end of the school year. So
We would have learned in those two, that month and a half.
no, it was like a full-on month.
It was a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 weeks dedicated to English tests and 3 weeks dedicated to math.
Which was miserable shit.
Yeah, it was miserable. The English was kind of easy. I'm not that great at English, so I didn't think it was all that easy.
I'm always good with English.
And then you probably thought math was terrible.
Oh yeah, hate math. I actually guessed on. I bullcrapped all of it.
I had one of the highest scores out of school for math. It was really difficult because none of it we actually learned that year. I just am one of those people who knew how to figure it out. I don't know how, but so yeah, Common Core park testing. There's these booklets for English. They're called Springboard. I have one in my backpack. We all three have one. Well, Eli has two.
I'll get mine. Ah!
The whiteboard attacked you.
Yes, it attacked me.
He's taking revenge on you. So these springboards, you have to do a lot of tedious work in, and that's basically how English is structured for now, like now on.
Instead of learning actual stuff from a teacher,
You learn it from a book.
Yeah, you're learning it from nothing.
So this is the senior Common Core book. You know, this is, for those of you who don't know, this is the Shakespeare play. Not play, but the stage. Stadium. It's like a stadium, but it's really a stage.
Yeah.
How it's built, it's a stadium, but it's weird. So we have to go through this whole book in a year, and you
Right.
basically work on every single page.
Yes.
Sometimes your teachers are nice enough to skip a couple, but that's rare.
I mostly just draw in mine.
Yeah, you do. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, but nothing but bullcrap stuff. Right now we're working in we're doing Shakespeare, and we're reading a book called Othello, which of course is part of the Common Core, most likely.
We spend a whole month to read one play.
Yeah, saddening.
One play. And it's not the longest he has either. It's not the shortest either, but a whole month. That's because we use Springboard and we have to do a whole bunch of different assignments for just like one page of this Othello book that I have in my backpack.
Oh yeah, you checked it out.
I checked it out because I was falling behind in English because I sleep a lot.
I didn't want to check it out, even though he gave us homework to like read Acts 2, Scene 3. I didn't even bother.
So, Common Core was initiated last year, our junior year. It was very stressful. None of the teachers, math and English included, they didn't know what they were doing because what they learned in, college to how to teach us was basically taken and thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Literally. Because none of my teachers didn't know how to do anything. Like, it's not their fault because they weren't really instructed on how to do it. So it was chaos last year. And the thing that really bugs me was last year, they told us, juniors, that it didn't count for a graduation. Okay, cool.
But
doesn't count for a graduation, but it was a lie.
Yeah.
Almost every senior had to retake it a couple months ago because they failed it because we were told.
It didn't matter.
Our teachers were told.
It didn't matter.
So they didn't bother teaching us because it didn't matter.
And now apparently it does.
And now it matters.
Like, when I found out, like, my counselor said it matters. Like, she said, for you to graduate, you either have to pass your SBAs, your end of course assessments, or park. The first thing that came into my head is park didn't matter. But apparently to the counselors, they thought it did. Technically now, it mattered for 11th grade at the time. Well, technically it matters now for 11th grade. We're class of 2016. It apparently didn't affect us.
We were told it didn't affect us, so us, the students, and our teachers, faculty, didn't bother to really help us in any way. My math teacher,
She just said
she doesn't care, just do what you can.
Yeah.
My English teacher, she gave us, like, tips on how to do it. She somewhat helped us because she felt like we should know how to take a test.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I love her.
I miss her. I want to go see her.
We should send her this video.
I know, right?
She likes ranting too. I love her. Miss
she-
Bay.
She loved ranting. She even, she told you to go outside and, like, riot?
No, I went outside because I was taking the park thing and I didn't want to do it. That I really needed to use the bathroom. And we were having difficulties. Literally, it took, oh my gosh. Okay, so the first time we had park, the very first day, what we had to do was, you sit on a computer and you take it, and once you start, you can't stop until the session's over. It took, how long did it take my class to get started because the computers weren't working, or because the system wasn't working, or because some kid wasn't in the system, so none of us could take it.
That's what happened to my class. Like, 3 kids weren't in the system.
It was thrown together, like, I literally think it was thrown together last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really was. And then I go outside, use the bathroom, and I find freshmen and sophomores, writing against this, and it mattered for them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Still matters for them. So
they screwed themselves over.
They screwed themselves over, and they had to go to summer school, I believe. They didn't go to school for 2 whole months, basically, because they were writing this.
Mm-hmm.
The only people who had the right to riot were the juniors last year. We were told it didn't matter, so since it doesn't matter, why do we have to take it? We could have rioted against it, taking it, because it didn't matter then. And then all of a sudden this school year starts and it matters.
Yeah. Government was the one that put it together, right?
Yeah, the government made it.
Thank you, government, for screwing up our school life.
It made it so much more difficult. Teachers didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to do because we weren't being taught what to do.
I would hear teachers saying it was the stupidest thing ever, which it is.
It really is. Like, sure, what I think they should have done was start this Common Core, because for all of us for the past, I think 12, 14 years or so, we've been doing SBA testing, and that was a standard-based assessment that we've been doing for the past few years, like since all of us started school.
Mm-hmm.
What they should have done for third graders, they should start Common Core for first graders as of last year, and each year move up. Instead of throwing it on top of us, all of us who have been doing something else completely different for the past since we've been in school. Instead, they decided to pay schools and be like, hey, if you do this, you get more money, which it's incentive to do it, but it's not good.
If I do become a teacher for English or creative writing, most likely creative writing, I'm saying screw the system. I'm teaching my own way.
See, I want to be a teacher for special ed, and because of Common Core, it makes me not want to be a teacher because I don't get to teach the kids the way they need to be teach. Like seriously, thank you. Taught. I want to go in math, not English. So, what was I gonna say? They're basically trying to teach kids one way to do things, and only one way, and you have to do it that way. Otherwise,
You get screwed over. You fail.
You fail. But yeah, again, they have this thing saying no kid left behind. Well, because of how they're doing this, kids are gonna get left behind. I was left behind. Like, come on, guys. Seriously. Common Core.
Yeah, so with schools, let's go back to the way it used to be, where it was actually easier to learn.
Way easier to learn. You know, you had those teachers. Teachers are so brilliant. They would, teach their own way because they know how their students are. Teachers personally know their students, so they know how they can learn. The government, most people in government haven't been in school in 20 plus years, give or take. So, yeah, it's about 15 plus years before you can actually go into the government, depending on what positions you're doing. They haven't been in school in years, so they don't really know, and they don't know how to teach. So they shouldn't be telling teachers how to teach when they don't even know how. Like, you don't do that. You don't want someone telling you how to do your job. Well, we kind of are, but I'm hoping to, get your job and fix your screw ups.
Yeah. Let teachers teach the way they want to teach.
Because they know how to teach their students.
Unlike governments. Yes, they run
officials.
a country. But seriously, no. You do not... Yes, you technically run schools, but you do not run how we are taught.
You can't, because everybody learns in different ways. Everybody. They have their own special little ways to learn, and if you impede them on that, they're not going to. And I can see why the government wants to make Common Core. They want to standardize it all across the nation, so we're all learning the same things at the same time, so when we get out of high school, we are at the same level. That can make sense, but you forcing something that we can't do down our throat is just going to bring our nation from up here with education to down here, and we're already pretty low compared to some other countries. But not most. We're still pretty good.
They should make it to where, we choose what we need to learn, because the stuff we're learning now, we're not going to be using in the future.
Most of it, no.
We're in financial algebra, all three of us, not in the same class, though. But that stuff, now that's a reasonable stuff we need to learn, because it's financial aid.
You learn how to do taxes, you learn how to apply for loans, you know how to do scholarships, you know how to... Well, you learn how to use a computer, which our generation, you kind of already know that. You grew up with them. I didn't grow up with one. I don't even have a computer at home.
I somewhat grew up with one.
But you know how to apply for taxes, you know how to balance a checkbook, you know how to get credit cards, you know about interests, you know stuff that you will be using. Sure, there's some things in English that they teach you that you will use, like how to speak proper English, which I'm still learning, apparently.
It's the only language I really know.
I know some. Parts of some. That's not the point. The point is, Common Core isn't something you necessarily want, but you do also need to see the other side of this. You do need to know that the government is trying to
keep us in line.
And better our country as a whole. It's last year was a fail, but I think they're going to get together this year. So far, they've been doing pretty good with Common Core and core subjects, besides Springboard. I just don't like English. I don't know if that's why I'm so infuriated by this.
I just don't like the way they teach it. It's not the same as it used to be. yes, they're teaching us grammar. Well, English is technically supposed to be grammar, like different types of grammar they use. But now it's just like, hey, let's look at all this other stuff that's not really grammar.
Like, I don't know, I don't really know why they're showing us all this different stuff for English. Sure, it could be useful for English teachers, or if you want to further, like, your education in English, you take a class on it. But most people,
Hey, look, film techniques.
you learn film techniques in English,
That stuff is for
like drama,
We have a
video production,
Yeah.
audio. We have classes for that kids can choose to take.
but they're
It's in
teaching
English.
it. Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
So I guess, well, we don't even do movies, so why bother with that? No.
I don't know. You guys do need to see both sides of this, I think.
Yeah.
No matter what, you guys try and be positive about it, because you will have to deal with it for about a month of testing, and then every day in your core classes. Science, luckily, science isn't really affected by this, so thank God for that. But you kind of need to. You guys gotta get over it. At the same time, I'm trying to get over it.
Mm-hmm. We're
But
seniors, so
we're
we're
seniors.
close.
We're still pretty ticked off about it because it affects us too. Even though we don't have to take it this year. See, it didn't matter last year, but we're not
now
taking it
does.
this year. We don't have to take it this year, so apparently it doesn't matter this year. If they tell us we have to come back and take it, I'm gonna be pretty ticked off.
I won't.
I'm not gonna come back, you know. Sorry, drop out, get my GED.
Even my parents were pissed about it.
Oh my God, everybody was pissed.
Teachers were pissed, parents were pissed, students were pissed. Hence the rioting freshmen and sophomores that honestly shouldn't have rioted.
No, they didn't really have a reason to riot.
We did.
We did. Our parents did.
Technically,
Teachers did.
technically-
Teachers had the most. They had the main right.
Mhm.
Teachers, because they were being forced to do this to us. So teachers, I applaud you for dealing with our shit last year. So, thanks you guys for listening to our Common Core rant. It was mainly a rant. I'm sorry about that. We were trying to be educational, but that didn't really work out. Apologize. So we'll see you guys next week. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about in the comments. Let us
Please.
if you like, dislike, and have a good week.
Bye.